Good evening, good evening, good evening. As we get ourselves set up here on TikTok, welcome everyone on YouTube. Welcome. Hope everyone can hear me pretty well here, there. Okay. Let me get set up here on YouTube. Welcome. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. What's going on? See, they play what they want to play sometimes here. So let's get us set up on the live, on the YouTube, okay? On the TikTok, ladies and gentlemen. Getting this set up real quick, okay? And we will start in a bit, okay? About to bring out the young legend from Dallas, Texas, the king, Bobby Sessions. Welcome to Auntie Time with me, Queen Sabrina. Yeah. Bobby Sessions, y'all. Hold up. Salute to Megan Thee Stallion live from the kingdom of Sabrina. Let's get it. Let's go. Coming to America, now it's coming to me. I'm not regular of the singing of kings. Saying I'm a father while I was speaking to you. Vision manifest, speaking into his truth. Welcome everybody here on TikTok. Welcome to Auntie Time with me, Queen Sabrina. We're going to get started here in a bit, okay? We will get started here in a bit, okay, kings and queens? How y'all doing? Happy Sunday. Hope your Sunday is going well, okay? As mine is, okay? Happy Sunday to each and every one of you, kings and queens. Got the music in the background just for a little bit, okay? Welcome everyone, welcome. Welcome there on YouTube. Make sure we are putting our questions and comments in the chat, okay? Welcome. Happy Sunday. We're going to get started here in a bit. Okay? Welcome, Viv, for joining. Welcome, T. Marching for joining. Tamara Ching for joining. Welcome, Bessie Robinson. Welcome, everybody there on TikTok. But it ain't gonna leave. No better. Thank you, Sonia David, for joining. Thank you, Nick2866, People Spirit, for joining. Welcome, kings. Welcome, queens. Welcome, everybody on TikTok and YouTube. I'm a queen. Ain't got me. I'm a queen. Give me what I want. Yeah, give me everything. I'm a king. Hey. Let me take a seat. Give me all that. Give me what I need. When I fall back, give it to a seat. Welcome. Happy Sunday. We're going to get started here in a few minutes. Okay, everyone. Now, I am going to turn my music down just a little bit, kings and queens, okay? We're going to have a little bit of extra music playing in the background. And as people always say, I do not own the rights to any of this music, okay? So let's be clear on that. Thank you, Princess 45127, for joining. Thank you, lady, for joining. Make sure we are tapping that screen, liking the live, and sharing it as well with another king or queen. Happy Sunday. I am in the midst of getting over Hurricane Beryl as I am here in Houston. I don't know how many of you guys were affected by the storm, but definitely I was affected. Definitely my family was affected. We were able to band together and help one another for those who had power and didn't have power. So just to let y'all know that most of the Houston residents here We are gaining power back. There are a few households and few areas, such as Sunnyside, who still don't have power. Okay, so we need to get that together over there in Sunnyside because there are a lot of elderly residents that live in that area that need power. Okay, so let's get into it, ladies and gentlemen. Let me kind of move the camera a little bit here for y'all. Is that better? Yeah. Okay. So, anywho, each and every Sunday, as I come on here, I give you guys a little bit of tidbits on how to save money on your groceries. We talk about some dating tips and tricks, and we also talk about some travel tips and tricks, right? So, as I always say, John Sells and Annie Mae Curry birthed me. The Pueblo Del Rio housing projects in Los Angeles, California raised me, and Tennessee State University in Nashville, Tennessee educated me. So those are the three components that have made me and molded me into the queen that I am today. So if you don't know me, get to know me, baby, because all of my family do, and I want to make y'all family just as they are too. So welcome, 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 everyone. Peace and blessings. Okay. And so last week, as I said, we were bracing for Hurricane Barrow. Okay. He did come through and he hit us hard. Okay. My family did suffer a greater bit of losses during this storm. Okay. We lost power, we lost food, some even lost accommodations of being able to be in their home. So, like I said, we did band together. We made sure that everyone was okay. So, I praise be to Allah that everyone made it out safely. We didn't have to become any evacuees or refugees anywhere, okay? We were able to stay safely here in our home. Thank you, Kay Lavish, for joining. Thank you, Paulette, for joining. Thank you, Apple User, for joining, okay? Thank you, everyone who is on the live. Thank you, Lady T, for the heart me. Make sure we are tapping that screen and liking the live and sharing it as well. So we're going to get into it with the groceries on how we can save money on our groceries. So remember last week, I was talking to you guys about being prepared for your groceries. Thank you, Lady T, for the heart me. Thank you for the likes. I will definitely follow you back. Um, I talked about, items that you can have in your home that will last without a refrigerator. Okay. So I talked about what the number one was canned goods. Okay, soups and chilies and things like that that you can be able to eat, out of the can. You got to make sure you have that manual can opener, no, and not just the electric one. Okay, that's another tidbit about being prepared for a storm. You also have to have a manual can opener. Okay, second bit of thing, we talked about having dry foods in the home, such as nuts, such as crackers, such as like the canned meat and tuna and stuff like that, salmon, things where you still can make things, right? We talked about that with being prepared for a storm. Thank you, Ms. Brown, for joining the live. Okay. We talked about having dry drink mixes, right? Because although you have water, you don't want to constantly just be drinking water. Maybe you want to get a little bit of maybe some iced tea or some country time lemonade, right? We also talked about having fruits and grains. If you want to still have fruit in a storm, hey, let's get us some fruit cups. Okay, those are kept not in the refrigerator. Just like when you go to the store, they're not in the refrigerator section. Those can be kept cozy in your cabinet so that you still can have some type of nutritional foods. We also talked about having grains, right? Granola bars and things like that, so that you can still have your little snacks, those crackers with the cheese in the middle or the peanut butter, making sure we have almond butter or peanut butter, because a lot of people are these days allergic to peanut butter. Those are are things that are essential, okay, to have. We talked about having at least a minimum of 2 gallons of water per person. I told you guys I personally prefer 5 gallons of water per person just to make sure that we have enough. Thank you, Lady T, for liking the live. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And like I said, everyone, make sure we're tapping that screen and liking live. I'm trying to get to at least 1K likes. Like I said, I don't do it for the likes, baby. I do it for my kings and queens so that you guys are informed. Okay. Now, we also talked about you having a cooler, right? Having enough ice to be able to put in your cooler so that you can try and salvage some of your food just in case your lights go out, right? I also told you guys about putting water in your bathtub the night before the storm, just in case. Thank you, Miss Brown. Thank you for liking the live, Miss Brown. Thank you, Queen. So that just in case you run out of water, you still are able to have water in your bathtub to be able to what? Flush that toilet, okay? Wash your hands. Maybe you got to do a little bird bath with that water too. So I just was trying to brace my Houstonians and get them prepared for the storm, just with a little bit of tidbits of things, right? Thank you, sweet Chrissy, for joining the live. Thank you once again, Miss Brown, for liking the live. And I also told you guys to put your AC on the lowest setting the night before the storm. Why would we be doing this? We're doing this to make sure that our house is at the coolest level. So, just in case, if our power goes out, it's still going to be hot in that house. So you want to make sure that your house can be as cool as possible so that it can take the longest time to warm up. Thank you guys. We've already reached our 1K goal for our likes. Let's keep it pushing. Let's get to 2K likes, okay? Thank you guys. So that was what I shared with you guys last week to help you get prepared for Hurricane Barrow. And I hope that some of those things did help you, kings and queens, that you did get prepared for that. Okay. So we will move on to the topic of groceries for this week and how we can save money and conserve our food. Okay. Let's talk about when you do buy groceries, are we putting our groceries up in the freezer in portions? Okay. What do I mean by that? Now, normally, um, you get your freezer bags, and what your freezer bags, they say they're gallon freezer bags, quart freezer bags, and even on those little freezer bags they have what? A place where you can put the date, okay, that you put something in the freezer. You can write on there and put the contents of what's in that bag. It is not just for soup and stuff. It's not just for food that you have already cooked. Okay. Thank you, Lady T, for liking the live. Thank you, guys. I love seeing the hearts on the screen. So thank you. Thank you, Miss Brown. And make sure we are sharing the live as well, queens and kings. So, where can you put and what can you put in these freezer bags? Okay. Now, me personally, like I've shared with y'all, I like to buy my meat in bulk. I normally buy it when it is buy one, get one free at Kroger. Most of the time, Kroger has this sale at least once, maybe twice a month, and it's normally the Tyson brand of the chicken. You can buy one pack of wings, get one free. Buy a pack of drumsticks, get one free. Buy a whole chicken, get one free. Okay, now how do you maximize that though? When things are buy one, get one free. So when you look on the pack of chicken, it's going to tell you the total price that you are paying. So what they will charge you for is what? The higher price. So I try to make sure that I am getting meat that is about the same price, okay? So that I am making sure that I'm not going to get charged $8.73 for one pack of wings and then the other pack is what, $7.23. So I look through that meat, okay? Like I said, doing for yourself will save you money. So I look through the packs of meat. I'm gonna find one that's $7.53. So guess what? I'm looking for another one that's between 7.52, 7.55, no more than about 7.65, 7.70 cents, so that I can make sure that the highest one is the one that they're going to charge you for. So it's not too much higher than the lower pack that you get, right? Make things make sense. Thank you, Vincent, for joining the live. Thank you, Karen, for joining the live. I'm loving all the love from you, Lady T. I am loving the love from you. Thank you for liking the live. Thank you, Becky, for joining. So when we do buy meat, say if they don't have the buy one, get one free, there is a running sale right now at Kroger. They have running, this is every week. They're going to have a $5 pack of drumsticks. You're going to get probably 10 to 12 drumsticks in there. They're going to have a $10 pack of wings. You get about 10 to 12 wings in there. They're going to have a $5 pack of chicken breasts. And I believe you get about maybe 4, no more than 6 chicken breasts in there. So that's what I normally do. Now, when I come home, okay, what do? I put my meat and things up in portion, even when I get ground turkey. So when I get my chicken, I'm going to put at least maybe 6 drumsticks, maybe 4 to 6 wings in a freezer container bag, and then I'm going to put them in the freezer, right? I'm going to separate it. So those 2 packs of wings, 1 pack of chicken and a pack of legs, 1 pack of chicken wings and a pack of legs that I bought, I'm going to mix and match. So I'm then going to come out with maybe 2 to 3 bags of chicken, okay? Because I'm going to portion it out. I'm going to portion it out for the amount of chicken that I am going to make with that meal. So just like I cooked today, menu today was red cabbage, steamed cabbage. I made smothered chicken and rice. Okay. Now, on Saturday, I made chili beans and rice. So I had a little bit of that rice left over that I can use for today's meal with the smothered chicken and gravy. Use that rice, right? But when I pulled out my chicken to cook for today, when I put it out Saturday night, I already had it portioned out. I had about 8 legs in there and I had about 6 wings. So that was enough portion cooking for my household. That's going to last us for at least 2 days because baby will not be cooking again until Tuesday night. Okay. No, Monday night because no, Tuesday, because that's going to last us till tomorrow. So I won't be cooking again until Tuesday. So that's one way. Another way that we portion our meat is with our ground meat, like our ground turkey, our ground beef, right? So, say for example, if I get a pack, a 5 load package of ground turkey. I am going to portion that out in 3 bags of at least 1.5 pounds or more in each bag. That way I know each bag is a meal. One bag can be for some tacos, another bag can be for some spaghetti, another bag can be for maybe some chili or something else. Also, I already portion out my burgers. If I know I'm going to have burgers one night, I already portion out, smash those burgers, have them already in the freezer. That way I know what ground meat I have left over that I can use for something else. So when you are putting up your groceries, we have to make sure that we are portioning them properly. Okay, kings and queens, any questions about that? Make sure we're putting them in the comments here on TikTok and on YouTube. Thank you guys for all the love. We're at 3.4K likes. Let's see if we can get to 4K. Thank you, Lady T, for liking the live. Okay. So let's get into it. This portion, putting up your food, this allows you not to overbuy, but most importantly, it stops you from overcooking. Okay, because once you unfreeze something, guess what? We can't freeze it back, right? We can't freeze it back, or you're gonna get sick. If anybody told you you can unthaw something and then put it back in the freezer, don't listen to them and don't eat none of their food because baby, they trying to get you sick. Okay, it's just certain things you can't do. Now, you can also use this portion technique when you buy your lamb, okay? When maybe you eat a little pork, I don't, you can use this when you do your little pork chops and things like that. You can do that, okay? Now, Any questions before I move on? Because this also helps you to keep your refrigerator organized. Thank you, Colina Douglas, for joining the live. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, Fat Boy, for joining the live. Thank you, Levi Mitchell. Thank you, Sandra Johnson. Before we move on, okay? And like I said, guys, make sure you put in your comments or your questions in the comment section here on TikTok and on YouTube so that I can address any questions that you may have. Thank you, James Rogers, for joining the live. So we're going to move on to our dating portion, right? I always talk about dating now. Last week I talked about just keeping in with the theme of a storm. I talked about how do we prepare for a storm that may hit your relationship. And what do I mean by a storm? I'm talking about, hey, maybe somebody lost their job, maybe your man lost his job. I talked about maybe, someone may came up with a new medical condition, that you have to prepare for. Okay. I talked about a new addition to the family. Maybe you done got pregnant. Okay. How do we deal with these things as a couple? With mainly when someone loses a job, I think it's just a conversation that should be had about, hey, what's your timeline, sir? Or ma'am, what are you planning on doing? I mean, how many people you applying to per week? And also, just a little bit of tidbit that I think is good in relationships is that if you are in a marriage or just a long-term relationship where you're living with your partner, let's try and make sure that at least one person's income can take care of all of the bills. That way, when somebody does lose a job or something like that happens, you don't feel that much of a strain, on the relationship because you're prepared for it. Okay. If someone gets a medical condition or something that's new for you, I think the best thing to do is to really try to do a little bit of research on that medical condition. How is it going to be life changing for you and the relationship? Is there something you can do to assist your partner with this newfound medical condition that they have? Okay. A new addition to the family, communication. Let's figure out the roles and responsibilities. Who's waking up with the newborn? Okay. Who is changing the diapers? Who is feeding the child? Communication is key. Like they say, if you stay ready, you ain't got it ready. So it's all about having that communication, within your relationship. Okay. So that's what we talked about last week, just storms that may come in your relationship. Okay. Thank you, Faya McCall, for joining. Thank you, Mariana Jackson. Thank you, Patty Cakes. Thank you, Teresa L. Fulton, for joining the live. Okay. We have 4K likes. Okay, let's see if we can get to 5K. Thank you, everyone on YouTube as well. So, topic of today regarding dating. Okay, when do we think it is time to tell maybe the mother or the father of your child that you're no longer with, that you are in a serious relationship, maybe you're engaged, maybe the person has moved in, and that this person is consistently around your child? When do you think it's the right time to let them know? Okay. Now, me personally, I think it depends on the understanding and the type of relationship you have with that ex, that you have with the father of your child, that you have with the mother of your child. Now, myself personally, the understanding that I had, okay, with the father of my child was, hey, if anyone gets engaged, okay, if anyone moves in with another party, and the child, when they come to visit you or they're at your house, they're going to be consistently around another person, okay, then we need to both share that with each other, and we each need to meet that other person. Okay. Now, like I said, that was the understanding that we had, that I thought that we were on the same page. Now, for me, did it happen like that? Not so much. So I got a call from the father of my child at 9 a.m. on a Friday or Saturday, I believe. He asked me, hey, did you get the voicemail that I left you? Okay, sir, what was the voicemail about? Oh, it's about me getting married. Oh, well, congratulations. Well, when are you getting married, sir? Oh, today at 5 p.m. No, sir. That was not acceptable. That is definitely not the way that you tell the mother or the father of your child that, hey, I'm getting married today at 5 p.m., and you tell them at 9 a.m. So my response to him was, okay, thank you. Where's my child? She won't be in attendance at this wedding because I know nothing about this person. I know nothing about anything. And if you wanted to make sure that your child was in attendance properly at this wedding, then you should have informed me because, baby, I sent my child to your house, hair not done, not an outfit to wear to the wedding, because baby ain't known my child was going to a wedding. Okay. And so, how I even came to know that he was even getting married wasn't on his own merit. It was his grandmother who had to ask me and say, hey, I know you well enough that you ain't gonna send your child over here looking tore up without her hair done and not a dress or anything to wear to this wedding. So I thought that maybe you didn't know. Well, you thought right because you know what type of mother I am. In no shape, form, or fashion will I have sent my child over there to your place of living and not being prepared for her father getting married. So she knew something was up there. So when that happened, me, I said, hey, I guess all bets are off. We don't have the understanding anymore that we need to let each other know, what's happening in the household. Okay. And so for me, I moved forward with my situation. Okay. It was a whole year or so before he even found out that I was moved in with my man and he was living with me. Okay. That's how I handled it. Maybe, maybe not. It may not have been the right and proper way, in your opinion, to handle it, but that was what worked for me. Now, did I ever tell my child, hey, don't tell your dad that such and such lives here? No, never did. I told her, if you are on the phone with your father and your father hears such and such in the background, okay, go ahead and hand me over the phone because no one can tell my business but me. And any questions that he has regarding my business and what's going on in my household, then baby needs to ask me. Thank you, Mika, for joining and liking the live. Thank you, Mika, for the heart me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So that was how I personally handled the situation. Now, that may not be what floats your boat. That may not be what works for you in your situation. Like I said, it really just depends on the type of relationship that you have with the mother of your child, with the father of your child. Because the main thing is that we have to make sure that the decision that we are making is the best decision for the child. What I didn't want is my child being in the middle of a grown person's conversation. Okay. And so, like I told y'all, when I found out about his significant other, it was 9 a.m. I'm getting married at 5 p.m., which was unacceptable to me, in my opinion. Never met the woman, don't know anything about her, but yet the family is walking around calling this person her stepmom. No, that was not acceptable for me. People think that because you get married, as soon as you marry somebody, that person automatically becomes your child's stepmom, stepdad. That's not how that works for me. That's an action. A stepmom, a stepdad, it's not just a title you just get. Okay. That is shown by action. For me to call another woman my child's stepmom, it ain't gonna be because her daddy done married him. It's going to be because she has showed to my child and to myself and to the whole situation that that's in fact what you really are trying to be, is a stepmom. Meaning that I can leave my child with you. You know what my morals are, okay? You are in line with how I am raising my child at home. You understand that we have a line of communication as moms, okay, that we have an understanding. So then I can give you that title to say, oh yeah, that's my daughter's stepmom. But no, you don't just walk into a title. Okay, that's just not how I feel about it. But maybe you feel a certain way. Let me know. Okay. So, like I said, when do you tell the person, the father of your child, that you moved on, you have someone living with you, you get married, okay? It depends on your relationship and the type of communication, for me, that you have with that person, okay? Now, if y'all don't agree, let me know. Okay, let me know if y'all don't agree. Thank you, Voncell Jackson, for joining the live. Thank you. Who is that? Taya Tay? I think that is what's your name. Excuse me if I'm not pronouncing it correctly. But thank you, Shamika, for liking the live. Mika. Thank you for liking the live, girl. That's my date uno. I don't if y'all know. Join Mika, baby, Chef Mika. Okay, that's my date uno. Y'all go on her page, follow her page, like her videos and everything too, because baby, we support each other here. In my TikTok community, that's all I'm about is supporting another queen. Okay, so anywho, now we're gonna move on to the next topic if there is not any questions or comments or concerns. Now, next topic. Okay. Oh, and most of the time before we move on, I was telling my friend this the other day. When a woman moves on with a new man, then the father of the child, his emotion is always jealousy, anger. Who is this man around my child? This, that, and the third. Just want to be all in their feelings. And I think it's really mainly a ego thing, okay? But something that the person has to put their big boy drogs on and deal with it, because as a man you should be happy and understanding that there is a man in your household that is being the provider and protector for your child in your absence. Okay. Now, most women, okay, when they find out that the father of their child got a new woman, guess what they tend to do? Baby, that man gonna see them kids more than he done saw them children since they been apart. Okay, because the girl, the ex-wife, the ex-girlfriend is like, hey, oh, you got a woman now, you can spend time with the kids, because what they think their tactics is that they're interfering now with your time that you have with your new woman. So they tend to send them kids on a little bit more than what they used to do. Okay, so let's move on now. We are now talking about how we're going to save money on traveling. Now, a lot of people like, oh, I don't have the money to travel. I can't do this. I can't do that. This is and the third. Okay. Now, traveling, I can say it's not cheap. Okay. But is it attainable and is it doable? Okay. It is. Now, last week we talked about, and just keeping it in line with preparing for a storm, because like I said, we went through Hurricane Beryl last week. So I gave you guys on how to be prepared for a storm when you're traveling. Okay. The first thing I said is a must, that we must what? Look at the weather forecast before you go, so that you know what to pack. Okay. If we don't know how the weather going to be to the place that we traveling to, how do we know what to pack? Okay. So that's the number one thing, is to check the weather forecast. Okay. Second thing I said is to make sure that we pack an umbrella, right? Because the umbrella isn't just for the rain. An umbrella actually shields you from heat, sun. Okay. It is also a protectant. It is not just to protect you from rain. Okay. Let's keep in mind of that, kings and queens. Also, we said to do what? Bring sunscreen. Although we know the melanin is popping, okay, we want to keep it popping. We don't want it to be burnt, okay? So, yes, Black people, we do need sunscreen, okay, to protect our melanin, okay? I talked about bringing insect repellent, especially if you are going to a place that is a tropical destination. Okay, when I went to Barbados, baby, it was snails and insects the size of my fist. Okay, that was I prepared for? Yes, I was, baby. I had my insect repellent. Okay, also, we need is a small first aid kit just in case something happens. All the times it's not just so easy to go to the hotel lobby and say, hey, do you have this, do you have that? Sometimes you got to be prepared with it with yourself, okay, in order to make sure you are prepared. Okay, another thing is that having sanitary napkins, ladies. That's an old school word, but I know y'all know what a sanitary napkin is. Because, like I said, when we travel to places that has a higher altitude than where you live, sometimes it can trigger your monthly storm to come up flowing on down. And we want to be prepared for that if that may be the case. Okay. Also, make sure that we bring sunglasses, because sunglasses is another protectant from the sun, especially if we're going to a tropical destination. Okay. Last but not least, I said to make sure that you have a little bit of emergency money, whether it is in the form of cash or in the form of on a credit card, because something could happen. Okay, an emergency. Maybe you may get delayed and you have to stay at your destination another day, or anything could happen. Okay, so just be prepared for a storm that could possibly come. Okay. And let me give me a little bit of water. When you talk for a long time, your throat does get a little bit dry. Now I understand why Wendy Williams had her tea. But anywho, so let's get into the topic for today, though. Travel hacks. Thank you for liking the live, Mika. Thank you. Um, Travel hacks when you and only you are going to be traveling. Okay, like I said, some people say, oh, I can't travel, it's too much, it's too this, it's too that. Okay, either you want to go or you don't. Either you want to be outside or you want to be inside. Now, what I didn't just learn about them. I've heard about them, but it's just not my way to travel, because normally I'm not traveling by myself. So if you and only you are traveling, okay, and this is pertaining to lodging. Lodging means where you are going to stay, okay? There is a thing called hostels that you can stay at. And there are different types of hostels. They have partying hostels, they have relaxation hostels, and they have exotic hostels. Now, what's a hostel? Do you know? A hostel is a shared living space where you, as a woman, would maybe share a room with maybe three or four other women, where you have bunk beds in the room. You have a common space to use the bathroom. You have a common space to go eat. Most hostels also provide food for you. So when you are living at a hostel on vacation, you can take advantage of the food that they provide for you. Okay. Now, another thing, and I have actually experienced this, so I know that this is to be true. Now, if you're trying to get cheap prices traveling by yourself, or even traveling in a group, okay, what you should do is you should get a VPN, okay, on your computer, so that it looks like you are booking from somewhere else. Because depending on where you are, your IP, your computer has an IP address. So it's going to give the booking place your location where you are booking. So depending where you are when you are booking something, the prices are higher or cheaper. How do I know this to be true? When I went to Barbados last year, me and my best friend were trying to book our rental car. Okay. And so I kept telling her, hey, you don't see this price? We on the same exact site. You don't see this cheaper price for the rental car. You don't see this car. You don't see this. She kept saying, no, 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 no. I don't see that price. I'm screenshotting her the price of the rental car. I'm, showing her like how we on the same site, but you getting this price, I'm getting this price. Ding, ding, ding. Because where she was at in Indiana, her booking that rental car was higher. Where I was here in Houston, me looking for and searching for the rental car with my IP address was actually cheaper. So if you actually don't, want to look into getting a VPN address for your laptop, maybe you have a friend in maybe New York or a friend in California or a friend in Indiana that you can say, hey, look up these prices for this hotel, for this rental car. What prices are you getting for it? Because depending on where you are in America and when you're booking something, the prices will vary. Okay. So that is a way we can save money on traveling is either one, get a VPN network for your laptop, or two, phone a friend or family, okay, and say, hey, look this up for me, what price you getting, and go on from there, okay? Thank you, Alan Kreitz, for joining the live. Now, another place, another way that you can save money while you are traveling. Once you are actually inside of a country, maybe say you went to Europe, you know, um, and you're in Paris or something, and you want to travel, okay, inside of that country. Okay, the best thing to do is one, use their public transportation like their trains or their buses at nighttime, but then also book your travel to where you're traveling overnight during the nighttime. That does two things. Number one, the prices are going to be cheaper. Number two, it saves you money on booking a hotel for that night because you will now be traveling while you're supposed to be sleeping. So a lot of people like to say, oh, I don't like to travel at night. I want to get to my destination in the morning. This is that and the third. But if you travel at night and the times you supposed to be sleep, you traveling, you ain't paid nobody for no hotel. So you actually going to save money. So think about that the next time when you're traveling in a city, in a country, to book your travel at nighttime so that it saves you money on having to book a hotel for that night. Okay. So that's the way to save money while traveling. Now, the last thing, everybody got to eat. So if you are traveling by yourself, or if you are traveling with your man, your woman, your children, whomever, we all like to try a little bit of the local foods, right? When we go somewhere, we all like to go out, have a little bit of food to eat. But when is it always cheaper to eat? Lunchtime? Lunchtime is always a lunchtime special anywhere you go. Okay. So if you want to try that restaurant that you wanted to try, okay, try it at lunchtime because the prices will be cheaper. Okay. And that's anywhere you go. So anywhere in the United States, outside the country, or wherever. When you want to eat a good meal and you want to eat out and try the local food, eat it during lunchtime and you will save money. Thank you, Mika, for liking it live. We have 4.6K likes. Let's see if we can get to 5K, y'all. Make sure we tap in that screen. We are liking the live and sharing the live as well, kings and queens. Okay. So, um, let's see. But most importantly, number one, to be able to afford to travel, go somewhere that's within your budget that you can afford. Okay. Maybe the only place you can go is just 2 blocks up the street at the Embassy Suites and you can do a staycation. But you are traveling within your budget. Okay. Let's not travel outside of our budget because you got to make things make sense. Okay. Thank you, kings and queens. If you got any questions or comments about my travel hacks that I shared with you guys for today, DM me, put it in the comments, okay? Let me know. Now we're going to move on to the last and final section of Auntie Time with me, Queen Sabrina. Okay. And as always, I always want to pay homage to Wendy Williams. Okay. The biggest tea spiller. How you doing, Wendy? Hope you're doing well. I know you're dealing with a little bit of dementia, so I really hope you can remember who you are and what you did as a queen, Wendy. That's the one memory that I hope you can keep in your mind of who you are, what you did, and what you accomplished as a woman in the industry. Okay, now my first celebrity tea time pick. Okay, for today it's Donald J. Trump, aka Teflon Don, is what they're calling you now, Donald Trump, on the internet. Okay. They said, baby, can't nobody hold you down, Donald. Can't nobody do it. Okay. They said you got to keep it moving. Okay. Thank you, Yaya Cam. Now, how did I come to know you, Donald Trump? Okay. Now, I came to know you because my mother, I believe in the early 90s, she either went to DC or it was Chicago, and she stayed at Trump Towers. And she just thought that that was just the most extravagant hotel to be at. And she was letting us know, oh, I stayed at Trump Towers. I stayed at Trump Towers. Now, is she so proud and loud to say that now, Mr. Donald J. Trump? I don't know. Okay. I really can't share her opinion of you and how she feels about you right now. But at that moment in the 90s, she was excited to stay at Trump Towers. Okay. Now, I always knew you, Trump, as just being a businessman, right? That's just what I knew you about. You had the Trump Towers, and I just knew you was, a businessman. But how America really came to know you, and I just got to know you a little bit, is when you started, with your show. I think it was on NBC or ABC, The Apprentice, where you had that thing, you're fired, had people coming into the conference room, firing people left and right, Donald Trump. You was. But what I can say is that you was accurate in the people that you was firing, because some of them people didn't know what the hell they was doing. Okay. They had no business sense. They just wanted to be on the show. And so that is where you also met Omarosa too, on that Celebrity Apprentice. Okay. And that was a strategic move for you, having those celebrities on Apprentice, because I believe you were able to develop business deals and personal relationships with those celebrities, because everything is about business. It's not always about, your emotions and things like that. Now, um, but what really put you on the map, Donald Trump, in my eye, okay, was in 2016 when you ran for president against Hillary Rodham Clinton. Okay. Now, I knew when the race started that you was going to win and Hillary Clinton was not going to win, because she was not trusted, in my opinion. And please keep in mind, everyone, these are my opinions, okay? They are not the opinions of anyone. They are mine and mine alone. Hillary Clinton, you couldn't be trusted as a woman in America, okay? We as Black people already knew that the Clintons made their money from the private prison industry, okay? So you wasn't a woman that could be trusted. So the reason I honestly believe you won, Donald Trump, is because you were actually the lesser of the two evils, okay? She was a liar, you was a liar, but you was a liar up front. She was trying to hide her lies, you was just telling us if you didn't like us. You was telling us everything. Okay. You didn't shy away from your opinion about things. Okay. And so that's what I can say, that you may be one thing, Donald Trump, but one thing you not, I don't believe, is that you a liar. You just say what it is. Okay. Now, what I think that a lot of people don't like about you, Donald Trump, it's because you lack emotion when you speak. You don't speak politically correct, okay? You just tell it how it is, okay? However that cookie crumble, baby, either you're going to eat it or you're going to pick it up. That's just how Donald Trump is. And when you are in business, you lack 100% emotion. You don't make business decisions based upon emotion. You don't run a business based upon emotion. You run a business based upon the black and whites and based upon the facts. Okay. So a lot of the things that he shares with us are business minded moves for this country that a lot of people don't agree with. They may not be politically correct, but are they businessly correct? Because the United States of America is a business, okay? It will shut down on you. So the only thing that can open and close and shut down is a business. So how is it that we can get an alert saying that the government is going to shut down? If the government is not a business, how can they shut down? Okay, so make things make sense. It's just a lot of things that people, I don't believe, really just understand about what is happening and what is going on. Okay, now I'm gonna let y'all know I ain't no Republican. I ain't no Democrat. I'm not a Green Party. I'm not a no party. I am a party of me. I vote for me. I vote for laws that will benefit me and my family. It may be a Republican at that time. It may be a Democrat at that time. It may be somebody in the Green Party at that time. Okay. But I am not tied to any political party. The only person I am tied to is me, myself, and God. Okay. So let's be clear on that. Now, we all know, okay, these recent events that happened yesterday with you, Mr. Donald Trump, while you was giving your speech in Pennsylvania, okay, you was giving that rally, then all of a sudden it was gunshots that rang out, okay? You went to the ground, got back up. When you got back up, you had blood gushing from your ear. The CIA was yelling, clear, 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 trying to get you up. But Donald Trump, you was trying to pump fists at the podium. They got you off the podium, got you in the car, you did another fist pump. Now, I believe that, that was the reason why a lot of people are calling this stage a hoax, a what they call it, a stunt. That's why a lot of people, Donald Trump, don't believe that this was real. But the fact that two people died, who would really risk, you know, people lives being lost to do a stunt, a hoax? Make it make sense. But I do want to ask you this, Donald Trump. Now, what made you pump that fist though? After you done got shot at, okay, an attempted assassination on your life, what made you want to do the fist pumps? Not one time, but two times. Okay. That's what I need to know. What was so important about that? Because baby, you was almost about to lose your life, but you was ready to pump that fist. Now, second question, Donald Trump. Now we know you had done got convicted of all these felony bribery charges and giving people money, hush money, this, that, and the third. Now, baby, I knew when the trial started you was gonna get convicted, but I knew you wasn't going to jail. Okay, they was just going through the motions just to satisfy themselves. Okay, now what I want to know is, baby, what dirt do you have, Mr. Donald Trump, on past presidents? Okay, because baby, you done got immunity on all of these charges. So I want to know, baby, what's the tea you have, baby? Because I want to sip it slow, Mr. Donald Trump. Okay, I want to sip it slow. I want to know the tea that you have on all past presidents that got your ass immunity. Okay, that's what I want to know. Now, moving on to the next one. Okay, now I'm gonna tell y'all, really, I'm not a huge fan of this person, and y'all will definitely know just by me giving this person's introduction. Okay, Kamala, as Mr. Trump calls you, Kamala Harris. I knew nothing about you, Kamala. Okay, I knew nothing about you before you ran for the U.S. Senate in California when I was there. I didn't know nothing about you. Okay, now when you did run for senator of California, that's when I came to do a little bit of research on who you were. Okay. So I came to find out that you graduated from Howard. Okay. HBCU. I came to find out that you were in the Divine Nine sorority, aka shout out to all my AKAs. Okay, this is no shade to you. I am speaking solely on one human being, Kamala Harris. Okay, but what I also came to learn about you, Miss Harris, is that during your time in California, you were also a prosecutor. I believe you were a DA up in Northern California. Okay, where you are coined as the most vicious prosecutor of prosecuting black males, okay, in Northern California for mere marijuana crimes, that you were seeking the highest, the most egregious sentences for these black males, okay? And when people ask you about this during your campaign, I've seen it, I believe, in interviews where you said, oh, you were just doing your job. Okay. Now, me personally, a job is not going to compromise my morals and who I am as a woman, as a black woman in America. Okay. Never will I let a job compromise who I am. Okay. Like that lady said in that Tyler Perry movie, Divorcing in the Black, fuck this job. Okay, at the end of the day, okay, you have to be true to yourself and who you are as a woman, Miss Harris. Okay. Now, what I can say is that when you decided to run for vice president, baby, you was everything. You called on every HBCU. You called on every Divine Nine sorority and fraternity to help you, okay, in getting elected, okay, which was, I'm gonna give it to you. That was a good strategy, okay, and a lot of women and men were blinded by the diamonds and pearls, but not me personally. Nothing you've done has really impressed me, Miss Harris, as being vice president. The most important thing that didn't impress me was when in not even in your own backyard, but also your alma mater, when Howard University was suffering and students were being displaced and living in hotels. Okay, and mind you, Howard is in Washington D.C., so it was in your own backyard, Miss Harris. You sat by and you did nothing. You had no response. Okay. You did nothing. I didn't see you offer a hotel voucher. Okay. I didn't see you do anything. Okay. They had students sleeping in sleeping bags on the lawns of Howard University. Okay. Where were you at, Miss Harris, when this was going on at your alumni, the school that you graduated from? Okay. I'm quite sure you got a little bit of change in that bank that you could have done bought out some rooms at a hotel for your students, for your alumni, from the school that you graduated from the school that you rode on their back. Okay. Where were you at, Kamala? Because they were in your backyard. Okay. So that's the reason why, I don't have too many flowers and rainbows for you, Miss Harris. Okay. I really don't. I can't give them to you. Now, also, okay, and this is not to say you can't love who you love, but I can never get a understanding of how someone can go to an HBCU, pledge a Divine Nine sorority, and then not marry a king. And when I say a king, y'all know who I'm talking about. Because the only person I'm calling a king is the black man, the Asiatic man, the original man. Okay, we are the kings and queens. So that just took me aback for a little bit. That was the choice that you made. Me personally, Kamala, I believe you made that choice for political reasons, for business reasons. You did not marry for love, you married for business. Because I just don't see how you can just not have a living legacy of yourself. I don't believe you have any children. I believe you have stepchildren that they call you stepmom or something like that, camel mom or some little thing they call you. But to not have a living legacy of yourself, okay, that's an issue that I have. I don't know if it was because you can't conceive, you have issues conceiving, maybe you didn't have the money to get a surrogate. But, okay, to have a living legacy of yourself is the best legacy you can ever leave in life, okay? And so, with that being said, okay, these are my questions for you, Miss Harris. What has been your biggest contribution to women of color? Okay, aside from you having that call with Dr. Jackie about the high birth mortality amongst Black women, okay, because I believe that was a political stunt too. What have you personally done that has impacted African American women in a positive way in order to push us forward politically, financially, emotionally, okay? What have you done per se yourself, Miss Harris? Secondly, okay. Now, when was the last time, okay, prior to you running for U.S. Senate of California and running for the Vice President of the United States, when were you last active financially and physically in a chapter of your sorority? Okay. And everybody knows what I mean if you're in a sorority, if you were financially active and physically active. Financially means that you've been paying those dues. Yeah, everybody, sometimes people can't just pay them dues. But physically active, when was the last time you did a community service project with one of your chapters? When was the last time you attended a gala or a boule, as they call them? Okay. I'm pretty sure you did within the last 4 years. You didn't attended a whole lot. But prior to, before you called on the support of your divine nine, when were you supporting them? That's something I want to know. I don't know. So, Miss Harris, I'm calling on you because it's no pearls and chucks over here or tennis shoes over here for you. The pearls and diamonds are not blinging over here for you, from me. Okay. And that's just my opinion. Like I said, these are my opinions. Okay. These are my thoughts. Everyone has them. Okay. And I'm just sharing mine. Now, if you guys have heard or seen anything differently from Miss Harris, please let me know. Send me a DM. Okay. Let me know what she has done for you. What impact has you seen Miss Harris has done for us as Black women? Because I haven't seen it. I haven't felt it. And so those are my two celebrity tea time picks. Okay. Donald J. Trump, aka Teflon Don. Okay. And Kamala Harris. Okay. Now, fun fact, Miss Harris, you have the same last name as my daughter. I really don't believe you guys are related, and I would hope you guys are not. Okay. But anywho, peace and blessings. I will see you, kings and queens, next Sunday. I am always on at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, and 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Okay. So if you don't know me, get to know me. Okay. Share the live with another king and queen and let them know, baby, meet me here 6 p.m. Central Standard Time on Sundays. And I will see you guys sometime during the week where I will hop on my live and do a business consultation for someone. Okay, so follow me, DM me if you have any questions. And as always, thank you for liking and sharing the live. I will see you, kings and queens, next Sunday.